All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the show. Welcome to Ask the King. This is a very different kind of stream than the usual gameplay stream that I do. Every couple of months, I sit down and I answer your questions live here on the stream for about 2 to 3 hours. It's usually a really fun time, a really chill time. Lots of interaction because people typically chime in on the topics that I'm talking about. So let's talk a little bit about that. So first of all, this is pre-stream. It's going to be short. This pre-stream will be very short compared to the typical pre-stream. No extended news or anything like that. In fact, all I will say, guys, is if you do contribute during today's stream, it is greatly appreciated. This is considered a normal stream for me, with the normal goals and stuff in mind. If you either become a channel member, or you do a super chat or a super sticker, or you tip me, I will give you a live shout-out during the stream, although I will say this up front. I am focusing on answering your questions from the forums and Twitter first. If you guys do contribute during the stream and interject or whatever, I will answer your question, but it has to be between the stuff that I'm already answering, okay? I'm not going to drop everything just to answer a random question that pops up with, say, a super chat or something like that. But I promise you I will get to it, okay? We do have the usual goals in effect. $50 in tips. I put on my Gunner glasses. $100 I put on a vest of your choice. My vests are actually currently in the dryer. So they'll be dry by the time that that it's time for a vest, if we do hit the $100 tips goal, that is. So what vests are eligible today? Today we're going to go with the red, the denim, the camo, and the gold. Those are the ones that are going to be eligible today. Red, denim, camo, and gold. Curious to see what you guys will vote for between all of those, okay? Alrighty then. Now, if we raise $150 in tips, I will just say thank you, because normally I would put on the cowboy hat, but this is Ask the King. And when I do Ask the King, I'm already wearing the cowboy hat. The hat already comes into play before we even start. So, thank you in advance to anyone who does contribute to my stream here today. I really appreciate that, and I hope that you guys will enjoy the show. The way it's going to work is first I'm going to answer forum questions, people who posted up on my website, thekingofhate.com. Excuse me. Then we're going to go to Twitter questions, and then if there's time, if time permits, which usually it does, we'll probably let some people ask some open questions in the stream chat, and just go from there. As always, the show will be recorded and uploaded to my vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlogs. So if you can't stick around for the entirety of the show, maybe you asked a question but you can't be here live, you want to see if later on it got answered, you can check it out on my vlogging channel later today once it goes live. Okay? Now, for future shows, if you want to get your questions answered, there are 3 ways to do it. You can either post up on my forums on thekingofhate.com. In fact, the thread is already there for next month's episode. Excuse me, for the next episode, which is in 2 months. It should be around the end of September. Okay? So, we'll see how that goes, with people posting up questions for that. That's the best chance to get your question answered. If you post up on the forums, I go through that thoroughly and I screen all the questions and I pick the best ones. That's the best way to get your question answered. Now, during the afternoon that I'm working on the show, you can post up on my Twitter @TheyCallMeDSP, but that's a very narrow window of about roughly 45 minutes where I will accept questions from Twitter. And then, of course, if you're here live for the show, you can also get your question answered. There is actually another way that you can get questions answered for sure. That's to become a patron of mine. If you go to patreon.com/DarksidePhil and you go to the $20 perk level, that is a guaranteed detailed answer to your question live on the show. Some people take advantage of it, some people don't. Some people pledge and then actually don't post up a question, which is perfectly fine if you just want to support, but it is an option. Just so you guys know, throwing that out there, that is an option to get your question answered on the show. Okay? Now, hold on one second here. Getting everything in position here for the show. I'll be honest with you guys, I did not get a lot of questions for today's show. Half the forum questions were this one particular dipshit troll who just kept posting up troll shit that obviously I'm not going to answer. So half the questions on the forums were fake, and I did get some good ones, don't get me wrong. I did get some good questions, but if anything, I think what this is showing is that the show is really getting outdated, and to the point where I don't even know if this is warranted moving forward as a show. If I am really grasping at straws to get enough questions to do the show, then it probably shouldn't exist anymore. Let's see how the show goes today. All right, and go from there. If it goes well, then I'll keep doing it. But if this, I'm not gonna keep saying, hey, let's keep doing Ask the King, and people ask me for it, and then when the show comes, I have like 10 people who posted on the forums. Like, well, it's not enough for the show, man. So let's see how it goes today. Let's play it by ear. Maybe it'll end up going well. I don't know. Every time that I think that things are kind of dying down, maybe people don't want the show, then it ends up getting good again. So that is the show for right now. Okay, that is the whole show, and this is going to be running starting in just a few minutes. We're going to start, and it's going to be running all the way through till at the earliest we'll end is like 3 p.m., but we'll probably go longer because it usually takes a long time to answer some of these questions. My typical end of stream time is around 4 p.m. And again, I'd appreciate anyone who supports the stream in any way, because this is typically a normal gameplay stream for me, but it's not today. It's something different. So I hope that you'll support it, especially if you like this ongoing show and that I keep doing it. Tonight, we will go back to regular gameplay at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time tonight. It is the end game content of Danganronpa V3, where we are heading into we're halfway into the final class trial, and we're starting to get all of our answers of what's been going on in the game all along. So, join me tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, for the end game content. I don't know if we'll beat it, but we should get darn close, okay? Tomorrow, Friday, we're back to full days of gameplay streaming. It's going to be Fallout New Vegas continuing on the first stream, and then the late stream is going to be my throwback session of Street Fighter Fun, okay? On Saturday, it's going to be the continuation of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. We're heading into the 4th dungeon. And then Saturday night, we're going to be doing, I believe, how did I schedule out Saturday night? I think I did a half and half stream. Because I think what I want to do is I really just want to finish Danganronpa. I want to get it done with. Okay? I don't want people saying this playthrough's unfinished. I just want to move on. So I think what we're going to do Saturday night is a half and half. No, you know what I'm going to do Saturday night is Mass Effect. That's right. See, there's so many lingering projects. It's frustrating me. Because I want to move on to new stuff. You guys want me to move on to new stuff, but I've been playing these games for so long. If I drop them, what a waste. And there'll be people who are upset. Okay? So, Saturday night is going to be Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition Endgame content. We're heading into the finale of the game. Sunday, it's going to be more Fallout New Vegas, and I'm going to do a second stream of Microsoft Flight Simulator on Sunday night. You guys really liked it last night. And instead of having an hour of tutorial bullshit, instead, we're just going to be flying over major cities, landmarks, and things like that. It should be a really good time. I hope you'll join me for a chill stream on Sunday night. Then on Monday, it's going to be more Fallout New Vegas, and that's going to be paired with the conclusion of Danganronpa. And if we finish Danganronpa and have extra time, we'll switch over and try to play even more of Mass Effect 3. Okay? So that's the agenda. Today, it's Ask the King, Danganronpa Endgame. Tomorrow, Fallout, Throwback Street Fighter. Saturday, Skyward Sword, and Mass Effect 3. Sunday, Fallout New Vegas, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Monday, Fallout New Vegas, Danganronpa V3 Conclusion, and or Mass Effect 3. And the good news about this is we are very close to concluding multiple things. Alright? And once we do conclude these multiple things, we essentially will be then be doing Game Pass stuff. Whether it's more Microsoft Flight Simulator, starting up a new game like The Medium, or doing more of a game like Grounded or whatever, we're going to have time to actually do this stuff. So now I do want to address something. I talked about it on Twitter this morning. I do feel it's important to bring it up. People are upset that I'm not playing The Ascent today. The Ascent is a new hybrid action RPG game set in a cyberpunk setting. It's an indie title, but it's released exclusively on Microsoft venues. In particular, it's under Game Pass. People are playing it and liking it, and they're frustrated I'm not playing it today. Alright? It's very simple. I can't play 100 games at once. Right now, I'm playing Fallout New Vegas and Skyward Sword as the main daytime streams. I'm playing Danganronpa V3, which I'm near the end of, and Mass Effect 3, which I'm near the end of, as night streams. And I just started playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. Alright? Danganronpa's been going on since March and is a 60-hour playthrough. Alright? Mass Effect 3 is now over 30-hour playthrough. Excuse me, over 20-hour playthrough. And it looks like that'll end around 30 hours. Okay? Like, these games that I'm playing are incredibly lengthy. And you might say, well, why am I playing them? Because you picked them. Fallout New Vegas, Danganronpa V3 are playthroughs that you guys picked for Viewers' Choice events. That's why I'm playing these incredibly lengthy games, okay? Mass Effect 3, you guys were screaming for a couple months ago when the Mass Effect collection came out. You wanted me actually to play all 3 games. I skipped Mass Effect 2, but you guys were asking me to play all 3 back to back and were angry when I skipped 2. Okay? Skyward Sword HD people asked me all year if I was going to play it, ever since it was announced. Are you going to play it? We'd love to see you play it again. It's such an old game. No motion controls. Play it again. But then when I start playing these games, it seems what happened is people always jump on the bandwagon of what's new. They always want to see a content creator play whatever is new, right? And I get that. I feel that kind of hype and vibe too when a new game comes out and you're really excited to see someone maybe try out a brand new release, especially if you're not going to buy it right away and you want to see your most trusted content creator play that game and give you an opinion on it. All right? The good news is, with things like Game Pass now, I will have more flexibility in order to do that. Like, I wouldn't even be able to play Microsoft Flight Simulator right now if it weren't for Game Pass and my Xbox Series X, but I'm doing it now, which is really sweet, right? So, that's the good news. The bad news is, I can't play everything if you keep asking me to play everything. Do you understand? If you want me to play every game, then either, number one, I have to not play lengthy games that are going to take 80 hours and 4 months to beat, or I'm going to have to be a content creator that doesn't do full playthroughs. There are plenty of streamers and content creators out there. They play every game under the sun, but they don't finish anything. They literally just play each game and get a taste for each game, and maybe there's a select few of games that they actually go back and finish, but I'm not like that. As you guys know, I like to actually do playthroughs of games that I enjoy, and I put them up on YouTube as full playthroughs. That's always been my formula since the day I started making content, and take it seriously. When I first started, I didn't take it seriously, and I did playthroughs like Mercenaries 2 and highlights of my playthrough of Dead Space 1 when it was a new release, and highlights of Saints Row 2. And basically, when I was only doing the highlights, people said they wanted full playthroughs. There's missing too much content. Give us the full playthroughs. So I started doing that, and ever since then, it's all I've done, right? So it's come to the point where, like, I understand people want to see me play every new game, but I can't do it because you guys keep telling me to play things that are so lengthy to beat that it takes too long to try every game. Right now, if I weren't trying to rush to beat Danganronpa V3 and Mass Effect 3, absolutely I'd be playing The Ascent tonight. Why wouldn't I? But I gotta beat these games that I've been playing for 60 plus hours. You know? So it's very simple. Okay? You can't have it always. And I hope you guys understand that. Okay? I would love to play every game. I can't unless you want me to be the kind of content creator that drops playthroughs out of nowhere and doesn't finish anything. Alright? There has to be a balance somewhere. If you don't want to see me end up skipping on smaller games like The Ascent, then don't pick 80-hour playthrough games like Danganronpa V3 as a viewer's choice event. You see what I'm saying? There has to be a balance here. There has to be. Fair enough? And no, the solution isn't shorten the pre-stream. If you're saying that, I'm telling you right now, shut the fuck up. Adding an extra half an hour to stream every day does not allow me to play an entire different game. You don't know what you're talking about. That's your little pet peeve, nitpicking bullshit, and it's not a solution. In fact, you're just annoying me when you say stupid shit like that. So, cut the shit out. Okay? So, that's the deal. I'm sorry that I'm not playing The Ascent today. Alright? Maybe once we finish Danganronpa V3 and once we finish Mass Effect 3 within the next week or so when that will happen, then we can say, okay, well, guess what? There's at least another 1 to 2 weeks before we get to new releases this month in August, so maybe we have time to check out some games like The Ascent. But we have to get to that point. What's the point of playing 60 hours into a game like Danganronpa? You're at the end, the narrative end of the game, the cliffhanger. Oh, let's stop playing it. No. No. It's not going to happen. And the stupidity of people who are going to talk shit, you're just going to piss me off, and I'm just going to block you like I just did from someone in the chat right now who's a moron. So, one other thing I'm going to say, all right? It needs to be officially said and stated publicly, and I'm laying down the law as of today. People need to stop talking about trolls. People need to stop focusing on trolls in their content. People just need to keep it out of my stream chat. Because in the last couple of weeks, I'm getting so many complaints now that every day people are getting into arguments about it. Why are people talking about trolls? Why are people bringing this up? Why are people derailing the stream? Why are there one or two stream chatters who get into arguments with everyone else all the time? And we can't concentrate on your stream content. We can't even talk about the games because we come in and everyone's arguing. And I agree with you. I don't want that crap. It's always been against the rules to bring up trolls and their troll content. It's always been against the rules. It's not something new. It's just that we've been very lax, especially with my transition, moving from Twitch over to YouTube. I've been very lenient with things like this because I want to encourage people to come in here and feel good and say, oh, it's a new venue. I want to get used to it. But I can't just have people completely derailing streams every day anymore. Okay? So you see someone who keeps talking about trolls in their content. You see someone who keeps bringing up things like that. They're going to get moderated and kicked out, and I've had enough. And there's going to be a no exceptions policy to this. You have to abide by the rules, and I can't have people coming and complaining to me about it. Okay? Now, on the positive side, we are at the largest number of channel members we've ever had, 221. We've never had that many before here on the channel since I jumped over to YouTube about 2 months ago to stream. Thank you to everyone who's a channel member. Remember the many benefits of becoming a channel member and the fact that the more members we have, the more emotes we unlock. It's a very positive thing. I fully believe that as we progress further into the year and I start playing these numerous new releases, you're going to see that channel member number grow. The problem is the last couple of months, there's been literally no high-profile new releases to bring anyone to the channel to motivate them to become a member. I fully believe that, you know, once we start moving into the territory of new releases all the time, things are going to pick up around here. Okay? Fair enough? All right. One tip to shout out today. Atlas Telebon to me $1.30 and says, I've been watching Ask the King since it was Fremerka's Ridicule, so please keep it. Atlas Telebon is one of the longest watching members of my content, and actually one of the people who, you know, every single time I make an episode, he asks me to continue it. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that long-standing support, and I appreciate that long-standing demand for the legacy shows. I really feel like this is a legacy show. This is a show from, you know, a long time ago before I was an interactive streamer. It made sense to do a show like this because I wasn't answering questions at all. I was just playing games, and I didn't have a chance to really talk or answer personal stuff or anything like that, and now I do it on a daily basis. So, I hear you, Atlas. Let's see how the show goes today, all right? One shout-out, let's see here, for Super Chat. Let's see here. The Super Chat was from Definable Titan. Thank you for the first Super Chat of the day, Definable Titan. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Cool. All right. And that's about it. We're about to start, everybody. All right? Again, thank you guys. I appreciate your support. I do. And I appreciate you guys coming to chill with me today for Ask the King. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? All right, let's do it. By the way, I have to disable that Ask the King command. Hold on. Let me disable that Ask the King command while I just saw it post. I'm like, wait a minute. Let's go ahead and let's turn that off since it's now not pertinent anymore. Let's see here. Disable. Okay, the command's disabled there. And I will disable the manual command as well because the link is going to be outdated. So we'll go ahead and delete that, and then I'll re-add that later. All right, Ask the King command is now disabled. Thank goodness. Okay. Are we ready?